What's up, everybody? I'm Kansu, and this is the Crystal Corner, where we sling rocks on every block, but not those rocks. I'm just dropping gems. Today is February 9th, 2020, but as always, this video is timeless. If you clicked on it now, this is the message you're supposed to hear. Currently, we have a full moon in Leo, not just any moon, it's a super moon. And as I've said before, super moons mean that things are expanded on, things are brighter, things are more prevalent, especially with your emotions, okay? But with it being in the sign of Leo, we're dealing with our ego. We're dealing with our personality. Ego isn't a bad thing, people. Okay? Ego is not a bad thing. An uncontrolled ego is an issue. However, your ego is your personality. It's how you express yourself. It's your body. It's everything and all the adjectives that make you you. And you can use those things to your benefit once you understand that your ego needs to be contained. First off, let's start off with what the ego is, okay? The ego is basically everything that you've ever done from childhood till this point to protect yourself in any way. And a lot of times it ends up being displayed when you want to communicate with it as your inner child. This is why it's important to heal your inner child, okay? Because you, in turn, heal your ego and then are able to work with your ego to be able to achieve your goals. I was able to work with my ego and my personality and my Leo energy because Leo deals with personality, right? In the heart. So your desires. By healing my inner child and doing these meditations. And one of the animals that helped me a lot, so I work with animals. You guys know this by now. Even love animals so much. I didn't want to go to veterinary school because the shit takes too long. But I did become certified in animal Reiki, and I prefer working with animals over humans oftentimes. But one of the animals that I've been working with for a while now, and that has helped me, is that of the snake. Can you guys see that? You see it? And come to find out, I've been working with the snake for a long time. Not necessarily on purpose, not necessarily consciously, but every decision that you make in life sets off a butterfly effect that leads you down the road to make you what you are now. So make it a habit of thanking your past self for looking out for your future self, because you, in the present, gets to reap the benefits of what you did back then. Okay? It's the snake. Snake. Snake, snake, snake. I'm a Slytherin. Shouts out to all my Harry Potter fans out there. I am a proud Slytherin. The cunning, the ambitious, and the leaders. That's what I do. I like to lead. So, snake, right? What is a snake? First of all, we see snakes depicted a lot in ancient cultures, right? From the Hindus with the Naga to the Bible with the serpent in the Garden of Eden to different spiritual cultures, like the Haitians and the Congolese with the Palo, with a deity by the name of Dambala. We've got Azili or Erzuli. She's married to Dambala. You've got Simbi. You've got Renintet, which is one that I was put onto by another spiritualist. Probably you've heard of her. I'm not going to name any names though. Yes, I will. It's Conjure Queen. She put me on to Renintet. Renintet is the Egyptian deity. I have my book right in front of me. She's the Egyptian goddess of childbirth. Her name derives from the root word Ren, indicating the soul name. So, like I said, snakes are representative of a very, very primal energy. We all have a reptilian brain aspect. Yes, reptilians are real. You're one. Your third eye is a reptilian aspect. And what I've come to find out, because I actually have a snake now, is that snakes will communicate with you psychically, like telepathically. Here's an example. When I got her and I brought her home, I would sit there, I would meditate with her, and you could hear and feel the snake. Like, my eyes are open. I can see her, and she's communicating. Not necessarily verbally, but she'll send images or sounds of things that'll spark off ideas, right? So I knew she was getting ready to peel because her eyes started turning blue. And she kind of got like this little shiny patch on her forehead, kind of looked translucent, rainbow like when the light would hit it. So I'm like, okay, she's getting ready to heal. Let me crank the humidity up in this tank just to make sure that everything goes smoothly. I went to sleep that night, and while I was dreaming about snakes, and one just kept like climbing up. It was coiling up this pole, and it kept trying to hit the top. And when it did, the skin just slid off, and they went off into the ethers. In that moment, while I was asleep, it was like a lucid dream, I knew that she had peeled. So while I was still in the dream, I'm like, okay, well, what do we do with this transformation process? Because that's the thing snakes bring. They bring transformation, right? They basically deal with the cycles of life and death. That's why you'll see the snake symbol of the Ouroboros. If you guys aren't familiar with my dude, Ashai Ra, on SoundCloud, great musician there. But one of the things that I like about his logo is that he has an owl head in the middle with the Ouroboros going around it. Ouroboros is a snake eating his tail. The owl represents the wisdom. So what he's showing is, the wisdom of the divine, positive and negative, who you are, light side, dark side of the force, however you want to view it. And then the Ouroboros, which means the never-ending cycles of life and death, beginning anew, regeneration and disintegration, really, really great symbol for that. And that's really what a snake represents. They definitely deal with Kundalini, as I've spoken about in several videos before. One most recently, you can go back and watch the Kobe Bryant Decoded video, because that whole thing with Kobe was representative of how Kundalini is starting to push through. We're tapping into and actually stepping into the age of Aquarius this year, where we can start to deal with things in an Aquarian way, which means deal from your knowing. We're no longer relying on our belief. We're in an age of information. So we're going to go look some stuff up. We're going to do our research. We're going to do our own work. And another way that you've seen this symbol is actually in ancient Egypt. On the crown, they have the double uraeus, which is what this painting is. The double uraeus crown is where the crown that they would wear with the two snakes on the forehead. That's symbolic of your Kundalini wrapping around your body, going back from your 33rd ventricle, up around your head, and then coming back out where your third eye is, able to see on the cosmic level. There is another deity by the name of Ada Waito. Ada Waito is like the rainbow serpent, right? If you've ever seen a rainbow, you've seen Ada Waito. And the rainbow serpent is basically a representation of your astral body and the energy moving through your body out from the third dimension into the fourth, fifth, and beyond, right? So at the end of the day, we're all light. That's why your chakras are color-coded. You've got orange, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. It's just like a regular rainbow. Ada Waito is a representation of how to tap into that cosmic energy, because that's what the snake helps you to do. Okay, that's what they are. They're the primal force. They're representative of Kundalini in its base form. But if it's in its base form, which means just this most basic form, it also has to represent it in its highest form, because one side of the coin is the same side of the coin. Heads and tails are the same. They're on the same side of the coin. They're two sides of the same pole. It's the principle of polarity that is spoken about in the book called The Kabbalion. I'll link that below. I've spoken about that book before. We're not going to go too far into that. Just giving you a basic understanding of snakes and their energy, their power, the things that they give, right? And you can do a lot of work with snakes to bring transformation. Snakes can, because, they can be very positive, but on the negative end, they can be detrimental. You know what I'm saying? There's a snake in the grass, it'll bite you, it can kill you. So they're good for crossing and uncrossing, crossing is just like making somebody clumsy, making them drop things, making them less coordinated than they normally are. You know, just causing minor inconveniences, basically. This is a jinx or a cross. You can use it for uncrossing if you have issues with feeling clumsy or feeling like there's negative energy around you that you just want to break up, you want to get rid of it. Because remember, snakes strike really quickly, and that venom kills whatever's around. So you can use their peels for that. Snake peels are highly magical. When I had that vision of her popping through, I instantly felt supercharged. I'm still shaking now from it just because I wear this amulet that contains a little bit of that snake peel, as well as some herbs, some crystals, some oils, some blessed intentions. It's very charged up, and 24 karat gold dust, because gold is the metal of the Nagas. And shouts out to Joel Benjamin 528 for doing a whole little pay-per-view Patreon type deal where he talked about with Brother Divine the Nagas. This is actually one of the symbols of the Nagas. This is the hieroglyphs for Renatet. She helps bring that bag in. Very, very fertile. She's definitely helped me to navigate my path to get to where I am, where I don't have to work for nobody else, to be able to run these businesses and put out these videos. You ain't seen me in a while because I've been busy. But, like I was saying, on that video about the Nagas, Joel really goes in to explaining their energy and how the snakes communicate. But it's one level to understand it or watch it on a video. It's another aspect to work with the snake on your own and experience it for yourself. And I'm telling you, from my own experience, snakes are some powerful shit, man. My snake has been able to navigate me and help me do certain things in a very short amount of time because the way that they move is so effortless. They stay so grounded. Like the whole snake, the snake is just the whole backbone. So think of it as your spine. Literally, that's another reason why they're representative of Kundalini, because Kundalini moves up and down your spine. A snake is a whole, it's a back with eyes at the top of it. You got an eye at the top of your chakras, right? It's right here. So a snake's eyes are at the top of his body. The rest of it is a backbone. They're so strong, though, because they're able to maneuver around things, go under things, go over things. If there's something trying to attack them, not only do they bite it and attack it, but they can swallow their prey whole, which means you have the ability to just take the whole energy and change it into something, no matter how big it is. You ever seen an anaconda eat like a whole deer or a jaguar or something? Man, I know it sounds gross to a lot of people, but for me that is so cool and fascinating, because on another level, it's like they're devouring whatever stands in their way and making it useful for their own energy. And that's what we're supposed to be doing out here. So as a witch, as a warlock, as a bruja, as a brujo, or just somebody that's on their spiritual journey, a snake is something that you really want to work with, because it shows you how to transform all obstacles into benefits. Every L that you take becomes a victory. You understand what I'm saying? They stay low to the ground. Like I said, they're a whole backbone. They have to slither around on the ground. But what that means is, as a healer, and as somebody that does a lot of grounding work or needs to work with a lot of grounding work, working with a snake is the one thing that you want to work with to be able to do that. Their whole body is on the ground. They are in tune with Earth's frequencies more so than anything else. Just think about it, right? Definitely useful for protection, because it'll wrap you up, suck the life out of something if it's a constrictor, or if it's a viper type, it'll go ahead and bite you, and that venom take your leg out. If you don't get anti-venom from the same snake, which can be very healing, which is why I said snakes can be used for positive or negative things, because if a snake bites you, it's like I said, it's gonna eat the limb. The limb starts to go necrotic. It turns black. It swells up real big, like a big boil, and it literally will eat the bone from inside out. But to heal it and to heal other things, you have to use the same venom. So a snake teaches you that whatever work that you do is a two-edged sword. You can either do good with it or you can do bad with it. Okay? The choice is yours. Do what thou wilt. I'm not here to tell you what's good or what's bad because good and bad is subjective. We all should know that by now. If you clicked on this video, you probably know that. So, once again, while meditating with my snake, and that dream I had, where she was communicating with me when she was shedding her skin, she told me what to do with it. She said, go get a vial. You take some of the skin and you mix it with these herbs. And this is going to help keep that energy around you. It's going to help keep you grounded. Because a snake not only keeps you grounded, but it represented the Kundalini, right? Like I said, it rises you up to the top. It keeps you in a very, very high frequency, but grounds it. So whatever work that you're trying to do, whatever thing you're trying to manifest, it starts to come in a lot quicker. I've been getting a lot more messages, a lot more frequently. My vision has been a shit ton clearer. I thought that my vision was clear already, but when I meditate, I instantly am able to go to that space just by having this. I'm able to keep calm in situations around stress. As an empath, a lot of times it's difficult to go out into the public and interact with stuff. A lot of you are probably empaths like me and also introverts. I'm an introverted extrovert, to be honest. But I don't like going out to parties and going into public settings and stuff like that. But while working with the snake and wearing this amulet, it's easy. It's easy. You can just go out there and live in your own little world. You almost become low-key invisible to the people that are there, but can be seen when you want to, right? I'm not wearing any of the crystals currently. The only things that I wear is my rings. I like to wear silver. As Kansu, energy that deals a lot with lunar energy, and silver is a lunar energy. But the 24 karat gold in here amplifies the silver that I have. Everything is expanded on. This is copper as well. So wear all of those metals, people. They will help bring you benefits. You need metals and you need crystals. You need gold. You need silver. You need copper. Venus, the moon, and the sun. Masculine, feminine. There's masculine energy, which is the sun. The feminine energy, which is the moon. And Venus, because love conquers all. You can't do none of this without love. I mean, yes, there's hate, but if you've seen Monsters Inc., you know it's better to laugh than it is to scream and cry. You get way more when you make shit happy. That's why I don't like doing negative things. Might be on the left-hand path because I do this myself, but I understand that magic is a double-edged sword, and whatever you do comes back on you by 6. And who wants to fuck with that? So just put good out there and outweigh it. Makes sense to me. I'm just saying. So the last element that I personally needed to start wearing more of was gold as well. So now wearing gold, copper, and silver, everything is super amplified. Like, I have not been able to sit down yet. Actually, last night was the first night I was able to sleep well because I had so much energy moving around. And it's not like it was ungrounded. Like, it feels great, but the transformation, the upgrade, I feel like I've personally shed a skin. I feel like I personally finally stepped into something, and that's the transformation that this talks about. The reason why, back to Renetet, she's the goddess of childbirth, is because that's not only physically birthing children, it's birthing new realities, it's birthing new manifestations, it's rebirthing yourself and ideas and constantly being able to change and evolve. Working with that, she's the one that shows you how to be able to do that. And it's another reason why I personally decided to go ahead and get a snake. It's the same reason why I personally decided to go ahead and get a spider as well. Spiders are spirits that help you create reality and understand how things are tied together and how everything's connected. Because spiders weave webs, right? Reality is one big web. I understood this on a trip I had one time. And when I got up there, I looked outside, I was looking at the trees, I was looking at the birds, and there was these cords that connected everything together. It's like a little bitty rainbow cord. And those rainbow cords, now that I'm talking it out, really remind me of the rainbow snake that connects you to everything. So, in order to understand how to work with yourself, you got to work with spirit animals and animal energy, which is why I will continue to bring you guys different spirit animals. Speaking of which, this is the unicorn spirit wild and magical tea. I want you guys to be able to see that. Because you are wild and magical. You're a unicorn. You're a rare breed. And the unicorn horn represents that third eye beaming strong like this. It just points at people. Are you the type of person that looks at people and they tell you that it looks like you can look through their soul when you looking at them? It's like you staring straight through them. It's because you are. Your horn is up and you pointing right at that motherfucker and they can feel that shit. You got a magic wand right here in your forehead, but you got to learn how to use it like they did in Harry Potter. See how all of this shit goes together? I know it might sound like I'm all over the place, but for those of you that are following with your notebook, you understand what I'm saying. So, the benefits of wearing a snake amulet and working with the snake are whatever you make them, okay? For me personally, protection, crazy. Downloads, I have not stopped getting downloads. I already get a lot of downloads numerically. Like, I look at the clock every time I look at the clock, there's a message on it. I get a lot of them from license plates and signs and music that I'm listening to be a line that stands out, but the frequency in which I get them drastically increased. Drastically. Meditations, out of this world. Visualizations, out of this world. Me maintaining my energy throughout the day, and certain things that used to bother me don't anymore. I'm able to maneuver in and out of situations where I have to be out in the public with people or interact with people that aren't on the same frequency. You can manage. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not one that really likes change much, but working with the snake has allowed me to be able to accept it for what it is, and it's actually moved me a lot. Chloe, you are throwing me off right now. My dog wants me to play with her socks. Give me, let me see. Off. Yes, people. Dogs, cats, snakes, spiders, they're all familiars, right? Dogs are protectors, both of the physical, but when you meditate, I've noticed that my dog likes to sit next to me and watch to make sure that nothing happens when I'm traveling. Cats help to stop spirits from coming in. They can stop the shadow energies from coming in. They'll block them from going out. They eliminate vermin. Vermin is both a physical thing like snakes and rats and mice and whatever else. Chill. They stop those from coming around your environment. We already spoke about spiders and how they show you how to create your own reality because the webs connect everything together. Snakes show you how to use your own energy. But if you got a dog and you got some old socks, take them socks, tie knots in them, and tie the two together. Your dog will love you for it. If you have a retriever or any other dog, they like to play tug of war with it because it's stretchy and it doesn't rip easily. They like to chew on the knots because their teeth won't go through it. But my dog's had these two pairs of socks tied together for about a year now, and she loves playing with them. So figured I'd show you her toy that she's so adamant about me playing with while I'm trying to record. Every animal has a purpose. Today's video is mostly about snakes. Some snake deities that you can work with to better understand how to deal with them. First of all, Encyclopedia Spirits, once again, by Judith Isles. Great book to have. It's like if you grew up back in the day before we had Google and everything like that, you had to go to the encyclopedia in the library. You need this encyclopedia in your library. So we got Ada. We got Damballa. That's Damballah. Damballa. They talk about Damballa in one of them Chucky movies. Just take the message for what it is. Don't go too far with it. Ezili or Erzuli. So Ezili. You got the Nagas, which are protectors of nature. Just like I said, snakes are very grounded. They're very earth-dwelling energies. So it would make sense that they protect nature, like rivers and trees and forests and stuff like that. They're deities of fertility as well. So Renenet, that is Renenet. Renenet. I don't know why I've been saying Renetet for so long, but Renenet. And then you have Simbi. Once again, it'll give you, energies or spirit allies that they work with. Iconography, which is basically how they look. Different offerings to give them. I don't personally give offerings to energies. I will start to incorporate those things into my ritual work or make baths out of it or actually physically eat them. Because like the snake, I like to consume the energy and make it my own. That's why they swallow their things whole. Okay? Then, what else we got on here? Snakes begin to grant you, when you work with them for a while, the power to manifest things a lot more quickly. Simply because, once again, they help aid in transformation. And a lot of times when you're trying to manifest something, the idea might be right there. It might be that close, right? But there's something blocking you, and it's your failure to change a thought process or change a habit or change a location or change a job or change something. So snakes will help to heighten your senses to what it is that needs to be changed. As the predator that they are, they're very grounded because they slither around on Earth, and then they can feel the vibrations of whatever's around them through their body, kind of like how Daredevil, the superhero Daredevil, is able to see. He sees by sound. They see by sound as well. And you're able to see what most people can't. That might be needing to be eliminated. So by eliminating, I mean you might have an idea that pops up or an aha moment where it's like, oh shit, that's why that happened. Or that's why I feel like that. And then once you have that aha moment, you're able to address the issue and handle it. I've had a lot of experiences with that recently, dealing once again with my inner child and just continuing to heal my inner child. There's always work to be done. You're never 100% of the way there. No one is going to ever be 100% of the way there. There's always something that can be moved, changed, and made new again, which again is what happens when you get to work with the snake energy. Hopefully, I have been able to, not even hopefully, I'm pretty sure you guys get the idea of what snake energy is, how to tap into it, where to go to read more about it. Mentioned Conjure Queen in her video. Joel Benjamin has a video. This book, Brother Panic's got plenty of videos about Kundalini. Bobby Hemmett talks about Kundalini. It's not a new subject, but in my own personal experience, actually having an amulet with snake energy combined with different elements of the snake. For example, the gold that's in there, the oil that's in there, the snake peel itself, the crystals. These are all ways to communicate with different energies. Having this on you is crazy for your vibe. is crazy for your manifestations, and it has really allowed me personally to transform things almost in halftime. Like it's like watching a movie and then you press the little 2x and then it plays in double time. Everything happens quicker. There's been people that have had one of these amulets that have avoided car accidents, where they were able to catch a fire in their house right as it started, so no damage was happening. It was like right when the fire alarm started to go off, they were a room away. You're able to put that fire out real quick. So that protection energy is really, really real. Meditations, again, off the charts. Off the charts, I can't say it enough. If you guys are interested, I have them, and I will link them in the bio. They're available for pre-order now. Very limited number, so make sure that you place your order ASAP. You guys have gotten this far in the video. Please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. As YouTube has this thing where they don't let us go live anymore. I would love to go live with you guys. I want to go live with you so you can ask questions and we can communicate back and forth. But we can't do that until the channel reaches 1K. So help me reach 1K so that we can go ahead and communicate back and forth. Otherwise, there's just going to be a bunch of these videos and I feel like I don't have too much more to say because I don't have questions. So if you do have questions, leave them in the comments below because I will respond. I will respond. Okay? Till next time, man. I'm Constantine. It's been the Crystal Corner. Let me get at y'all at a later date. Peace.